Hello and welcome to today's episode of Aviassembly. Now I said we were going to mess around with the sandbox mode today. So let's see. Do I want an endless ocean, endless snow, endless desert, hills, forest, that's the starting area, or just straight up flat plains? Yeah, we'll go with the forest. The flat one would probably be better for testing purposes, but... Now, what's the most ridiculous plane idea I can come up with? Okay, here's our plane body. Wings. Oops, forgot to mirror it. Yeah, this is looking pretty ridiculous. Mostly because I think I've gone a little too over the top on that upwards angle. I don't need quite that much attack on those wings. Right, engines. So we have like electric engine, big electric engine, whopping great big rocket booster. But we want to change the controls on that one. So it's not activated by that. Let's have a power up on 1 and power down on 2. Then, for its more normal flight, slap a couple of Concorde engines on there. Where's our center of gravity? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, let's see what this bad boy can do with infinite fuel. The front wheels don't even touch the ground, so I needn't have bothered putting any on. Ah well. Right. Regular thrust and zoom. There goes my tailplane. We are now a full delta. And we are already going. Ready for this? Rocket boost. Engage. $4,400, whatever that is. We were absolutely guaranteed, no matter what measurement they were using, they're going beyond the sound barrier. So what happens if I do takeoff with rocket booster? That's a nice, more controlled start. Do another roll. This is nice, this is manageable. 800 mile an hour. Or 800 kilometer an hour, whatever it is. Try and press the buttons to get that message to clear off. Oh. Ooh, how low did I take that? Oh, okay, but that's a little sketch. Like, I have to fight to keep this thing's nose pointed down. $4,000, kaboom! I think we actually went below the ground before we exploded there. Right. Go back to edit plane. We want to make a fast plane here, but I need to try and make it more stable. So we're going to start over. Still probably want that one, because that's going to give us the most streamlined option. We want a longer body. Not because we want like the cargo space. We're just needing the shape. Now, wings. I match 2 deltas. That's like our tail plane, that's the front line. Speaking of tail, put that on there. I mean, that'll blow off as soon as we get anywhere near the sort of hypersonic speeds. And 2, 4, 6, and 8. This thing is terrifying thrust-wise, and in fact, it didn't even duplicate that last one, did it? Which one's missing? There. I'm just going to say, one of them is missing. Centre of gravity's back there, I need more weight at the front. Can I put weight to the front? Okay, that moved it forward a little. Yeah, that's never going to taxi properly, but it's got my centre of gravity up there. What I need to do then is maybe shift that front wing forward, shift the back wing forward, okay, let's see what this does. Well, my front wheel sort of touches the ground. We already have an altitude of 32, huh? If you say so. Bye bye tailplane. Boom! Well, we're more stable. About to lose the secondary deltas. They go if you go above 3,000. They should have gone off by now. It's not quite fast enough, is it? And those wings are just going to eventually fall off, so we're taking that off. There's no point having that. Taking that off. Center of gravity's there. Let's move these back here. We'll just pull these out to that one. Let's move the center of gravity back to there. Let's see what this does. Well, this thing looks completely ridiculous. We still have that monstrous takeoff speed. Trying to get this thing to fly level is basically impossible. It would seem to be even slower. So I guess that big engine is too big. Okay, but let's mess around now. The most ridiculous cockpit would be to use the glider cockpit. A typical glider design would be something like that, and a tailplane here, and then the massive glider wings, which are like that. sandbox on H. So this is my jet-powered glider. It uses the jet to get airborne, and then you dump the jet and you glide. In theory. Yeah, except I instantly blew the wings off. So we are now a unpowered missile. We are still gaining altitude at this point. Just on pure momentum. Speed's dropping. We're going to start nosing down now. And the speed will pick back up again. I'm actually not touching any of the controls right now. I want to see what happens. It's basically the biggest javelin. That's what I just built. Okay, so we're definitely descending now. The speed's increasing again. Those canards on the back keeping us relatively straight. So, the idea works, but that engine's too powerful. So, what we do is we take that engine away. We put something on a little less powerful. How's about a small electric motor? There we go. I guess that's airborne. So now we try and get some altitude. Ooh. Apparently the glider wings can't take any speed at all. Okay, that seems like a good height. And then you just keep it airborne. Now this is where in real life you would be looking for updrafts and stuff to catch your glider and keep it airborne. Well, that was a fun experiment. So, what we're now going to do is we're going to swap the glider wings. Big wing, delta, big tail wing. Swap them for that. Strength 15, strength 30. Well, maybe actually use the cannons because they've got like the highest strength. Right, so we've built an arrow. twin jet engine right there. Let's see what this will do. Well, look at that. I nose down and it'll crash. But when I was doing the light taps on the nose down, it immediately nosed up automatically. If I get this going. So let's speed. Right. Altitude is going up. I tap nose down. It immediately corrects and we're now actually still going down. Just not as fast. Yeah. It didn't fully correct back to an upwards altitude alignment. 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35. $39. 40. Wing stress too high. The front wings have a wing stress, like a strength rating of 40, and the rear ones have 50. And I think on that other plane, when it hit 45, the front wings went bye-bye. So if that happens, at that point, this thing I've built becomes a missile. It's an interesting idea. I wonder if we can build a missile. Basically sitting on the right body shape for it. Doink. Anyway, that wasn't getting us particularly quick. So, let's add some more power. Double the thrust. What does that give us? Well, we're already getting the warning on the there. 45, 46, 47, 48, 50. We're going to lose the wings. All the wings. We are now straight up just a bullet. 63, 64, 65. Is there a ceiling to this thing? Can I tilt up and gain more altitude? No. We are going down. We got to over 8,000, whatever the speed marker is. No set of wings we get is going to survive that. So let's add more power and see what happens. Just keep them on alignment there. Boop. And in fact, I might just see if I can move. Okay, that one was being a bit weird. Doesn't even want a mirror anymore. told you, silly thing. Well, let me highlight this blue ring. Right, this will probably blow the wings off very quickly. Now I'm not going to touch any controls now, we're just going to let it go. It's pointing slightly the other way, it's actually starting to roll over, so I might have to counter that. I'm not sure why it's doing that, because it should be perfectly balanced weight-wise. Did the altitude meter go all the way around the numbers and start again? And again? Which means we're now at like 30,000 whatever feet or something probably? Right, let's see what happens if I try to level off. I can no longer tell what is horizontal anymore. We are definitely going down way more than I was wanting there. That's back up. It's still up. That's up much slower. That's down. Right, we've got a ton of altitude, so let's aim the nose down. This is where we get the speed. And yet we're not. The speed is level. Okay, I hit the ground 139, whatever the measure was, above the ground. Huh. That was interesting. But having all the engines in a line like that is apparently sapping their power. Interesting. So what happens if I put them all on the top, kind of doubled up like that? Does that still have the same power cap? There's 1,000. 2,000. Strangely, yes. So wait, have we learned something about this physics engine? That there is a power to weight ratio? It's actually got physics for the engines. The exhaust coming out of here is interfering with the intakes on these ones. They're not getting proper air feed, so they're not... Wow! It's got physics for that? I mean, that's the only explanation I can come up with, so if I slap those there, and then slap those ones right beside them. Now with the 6 engines in a line all the way down the body, we were capping out at 2200. Yeesh! Didn't even get off the runway. That one was too quick, I couldn't react fast enough. $17, $18. How were we getting that super speed earlier before when we had the like... when we ended up turning into a missile because we blew the wings off? The only thing I've changed about the plane is the engines. And even then, it's just their position. I changed the angles on the wings, didn't I? So they're now producing more drag. So if I look there, wow, there is like 0 drag on this. There's like the bits of the engines and then a tiny little bit there, and then that's just it. There's just, where's all the drag? So what's screwing me up then? Why did this fish work before and then it doesn't now? It has to be the changes I made to the wings, doesn't it? Okay, so we get the wings back to level then. I mean, that was only about like 2-degree angle of difference. It shouldn't make that much difference to the drag. Not that we can see the drag of these wings, but... Right, we've already passed the 22. So now we're back to potential for insane speeds. How much does that one generate? 20. So that one's 65. I mean, that's even less than the small jet. Okay, so will the 6-engine design work now? $18, $19, $23, $4. Okay, we got past the 22. I am struggling to keep this thing flying in a direction. Oof. Right, I maybe need to change the map. I think we're just going to go with a flat ground one if we're going to keep doing this. So there's no hills for me or to crash into, no trees for me to crash into. We'll see what happens if... Why didn't that matter? It can't. Okay. Anyway, let's do that. Right, what does this do? First one that sits on the ground. Whoops, pressed the wrong button there. I should really double check my alignment on the keyboard before I press buttons. Okay, we're getting much higher speeds with this design. With just the 2 engines. Okay, we're already reaching the point where we're getting... Huh? I returned it to base and that blew it up? Well, that was fun, I guess. Put them on just for a little extra stability. And we're going to have them permanently angled slightly up. I'll create a little bit of drag, but it should help keep the nose pointed up the way a bit. To counteract the drag, we'll slap 2 more engines on. Right, let's see what our flying bullet does now. It is very hard to control, is what it does. I've got to do one little experiment here. This is purely for ridiculous sake. The biggest tail ever. Whoops. That is not the one I was trying to move. Okay, this is just madness. You would never build a plane like this. Let's do it. Nope, planted. Yay. Yes, I am going completely mad here with engines. Why not? We have infinity to play with. So center of gravity is now way up there. Okay, this thing has more thrust than it knows what to do with. Oh boy! I think that's enough experimenting and doing madcap stuff for 1 week, I think. Wow. Yeah, that just got nuts at the end there, but I may have to look up some videos because I know there are people that have got much higher speeds in this game than I was getting there, and I need to see what they did. But that was just, like I said, we were getting stressed out by the missions the last few days. We just needed a little play session, just a muck about. So that's all that was. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I'll try to remember to put a link to my Discord in the description. And see you in the wilds.